Well, hello there, and welcome back. I don't know why I was doing with that, but hello, and welcome back to ARAH, the G.I. Joe Real American Hero Costume Club, the YouTube channel. I am your host, and I am your founder, Wild Bill Hardy. I've been doing a lot of videos here today, so... in the last video, we covered Article 8, merchandising and promotional standards, and we discussed the team website creation policy. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff of fundraisers and accepting donations and possibly promotional standards in this video. We'll see. So let's get into it, okay? I was trying to do Good Morning Vietnam, how Robin Williams did Adrian Cronauer's character, and he did the teletype noise, and I was trying to do that, and I failed horribly, but whatever. Fundraisers. Okay, as a rule, all proceeds, 100%, will go to the hosted charity, right? The G.I. Joe Real American Hero Costume Club will never keep any portion of the money donated. There's an exception to that rule, and I'll go into that in a moment here. The only exception to the rule is if it is swag merchandise being sold. In that case, the swag production costs will be covered, and remainder of the donation will go straight to the charity. This exception will only take place with the prior approval of the sector command quartermaster. In other words, it's like I've discussed before, like I said in the last video, like doing a 50-50. You can do a fundraiser, or you can sell swag as part of a fundraiser, and either you donate all 100% of those proceeds to that charity, and we preface a desire to either, but they're not limited to, but I mean, either do a veterans charity or do a children's charity. We would prefer that because, well, we're a military culture, so veterans should be number one. But we have a heart for kids. Me personally, my passion is children's charities, specifically children with cancer. That's kind of near and dear to me. My elder brother passed of leukemia at the age of 7, and that was in 1979 when we didn't have Children's Miracle Network. We didn't have Make-A-Wish. We didn't have anything like that back then. So it's really important to me to, to fund, like whenever we can, to help these charities out. But, it's not limited to just veterans and kids. If you have a passion to host another cancer charity, for instance, lupus or MS. Devery's mom had MS, so we did a fundraiser for MS one year. As long as you're not padding the money for yourself, while I would encourage, like I said, veterans and children, you want to donate to your local animal charity or your animal shelter, that's cool too. So, teams, you may conduct fundraisers with prior approval of the sector command quartermaster. All merchandising, all promotional guidelines will strictly be adhered to in this regard. No ifs, no ands, no buts, nothing about it. Strict adherence to these policies is what keeps the doors open. Okay. Moving on to accepting donations, right? Because it kind of falls in line with doing fundraisers and such. G.I. Joe Real American Hero is specifically an organization that is not for profit. We don't make money off what we do. We do not accept money for our appearances. If you're contacted to go do an appearance and someone wants to pay you, say, please go donate that money to a charity. If someone says, I should pay you for your gas, no, you shouldn't. This is voluntary. If they want to feed you, if they want to give you a sandwich and a soda, I'm not going to object to that. Fine. That's fine. But monetary compensation, absolutely not. And like I said in a previous video, if you get slipped money, go donate that to a charity right away. Get a receipt and document that and get it back to us. That way, there's no backlash coming back on us. We can say it was donated. We didn't keep it. Okay. We do not accept money for our appearances, nor do we solicit funds from the public unless it is with prior authorization. That's a slippery slope. I already discussed that in the last video regarding, having the public fund build projects, for instance, right? So I would prefer that we never solicit funds from the public ever. We solicit from our own. Membership, our own fan base, i.e., those that are on our Facebook page. They're kind of considered, part of the ARAH family, sort of. I mean, you're an official member of the family when you're an official member of the club. But I mean, if you're on our page, then you're kind of, you're in there somewhere. So, this club operates as a pass-through organization. It collects, what that means is, I'm going to explain that, is that it collects donations on behalf of the charity organizations. That's what it means, pass-through. Like, we put on this booth, we're collecting this money, we've done this in the past, we're collecting all this money, blah, 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 right? Pass-through, meaning Joe Blow off the street, John Q. Public, gives me $20 to give to this charity. Okay, I'm going to take that $20 and I'm going to pass it on to that charity. And I'm not keeping any of it for myself. It's a pass-through. Okay. It does not collect any form of payment for services rendered. We do not do that at all. Club members may receive things like food and drink, like I've already discussed, but they shall never accept gas money for their appearances. You volunteered to be there. You volunteered, therefore you took on the responsibility of providing your own transportation to get there, paying for your own transportation to get there, because again, you volunteered for the appearance. We do not get paid. We are not paid actors. While you may or may not be an actor, these are not paid gigs. We will never have paid gigs unless, of course, Hasbro comes to us and says, we have a project we want you to be involved in, and we are going to pay you for that, your time in that project. That's one thing, because they're the intellectual property owners. They can do that, right? We cannot take any kind of payment in any way, shape, or form other than food and drink for any appearances that we make or any events that we participate in. Okay. Must. If they slip you money, you just get rid of it. Donate it to a charity. You are not the charity. Your gas tank is not the charity. Buying burgers for everyone that participated, that is not the charity. That is not an appropriate use of the funds. Not at all. Okay. Club members will graciously accept donations for charity organizations only and deliver those donations promptly to said charities. It is advised that members heavily document the delivery process so that transparency is upheld. In other words, you have been given a stack of cash, for instance. You take a picture of that cash. You go to this charity. You either document it with video or photos taken that you passed that money. Document the money, count the money, show how much there is there, right? So that it is verifiable and it's documented. I got $100, for instance. I got a stack of 20s. There should be 5 20s, right? Or, yeah, had to do math for a second. There should be 5 20s right there. Take a picture of those 5 20s, right? You hand it over to that charity. You insist that charity gives you a receipt. Right? They're going to want to give you a charity receipt anyway, because, they'll say tax purposes, right? Do not use that for your personal tax purposes. That is considered verboten. I mean, like, you did this on behalf of the charity. You did this on behalf of it. First of all, it wasn't your money, right? If anything, you should be getting a list of those people that donated money and send that, or like whoever gave you that $100, say you went to an event, you did a birthday party, mom and dad gave you, they give you some cash to give you $100, right? If anything, that receipt, that tax deductible receipt, should be in their name and should be sent back to them so that they can use it for their taxes. Do not take advantage of that situation and palm that receipt for your personal gain. That will get you kicked out of this club. Okay? Look at the seriousness of my face right now. That will get you kicked out of this club. Because at that point, you have profited off of the event, and you have blatantly violated the merchandising and promotional standards clause of this charter. You have violated Part D, accepting donations. I will boot you out. Okay? Do not take credit for that. Do not, keep that receipt. In fact, it would be better for you to take a picture of that receipt and you send it to us in the club. That way we know that you donated that money to that charity and that you don't have that money in your hands anymore, right? You're done, right? That way, if they come back, if the folks that gave the money come back at us, we could say it was donated here. Here's the verified proof, right? While it's an honor system, and I can't very well tell whether or not you used that receipt on your taxes or not, if you happen to run your mouth off and I catch wind of it, I'm going to bring you up on charges of conduct unbecoming, and then I'm going to kick you out of this club. Point blank, we do not profit off this club. We do not profit off of the intellectual property of Hasbro, right? Because that is something, if that were to get back to Hasbro could shut us down. And I have spent damn near 13 years on this club trying to make it a viable thing. I will not have that. If you cause my doors to close, if you cause my club to be shut down because of your greed, well, at that point, it's too late, I suppose. But the only thing I have in my arsenal that's going to, keep us afloat is that I booted you out of the club as a result of it. And maybe Hasbro might throw some mercy my way for that happening. But that is the thing, that is why it is so imperative. These rules, these regulations they're not meant to restrict you. They are meant to protect us. And to protect the brand, protect the intellectual property in its proper place. Okay? No ifs, no ands, no buts, no discussions, right? So don't do it. Be honest. And don't capitalize on something that's not yours. Okay? So that is it for fundraisers, accepting donations, portion of Article 8, Merchandising and Promotional Standards. In the next video, we are going to discuss promotional standards. And that's probably going to be lengthy enough to be its own video. So stay tuned for that. Any comments, any questions, any concerns that you have about anything that I have discussed so far, please drop them down below in the comment section. And we will discuss it. So, Yo Joe, Cobra, Knowing is half the battle, and thank you for your time, and thank you for your patience in these videos. It is important that we are informed. It is important to know what our rights are. It is important to know what we can and cannot do. And thank you to those who tirelessly work on our behalf to keep us going. Thank you to those that actually follow the rules so that we may continue to exist. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you so much. So with that said, I've said Jad, Joe's, Yo Joe, Cobra, no one's half the battle, right? Well, if not, I just did. Do take care. Have a blessed day. And we'll talk to you soon about promotional standards, okay? Thank you.